Now, unexpectedly, big divisions have erupted since the Israel-Gaza war got underway.
Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Immigrants in Europe. This video is about UK begin cancelling protesters' visas and deporting students flooding British university campuses. The UK government cancelled the visas of protesters and sent students back to their home countries. So stay tuned and watch until the end. Before we start, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to press the reminder bell so you never miss an update. Let's start the video with Prime Minister Rishi Sunak in charge. The UK government has made changes to visa rules that are meant to stop protests and make the country safer. The UK government has strict rules for cancelling the visas of foreign nationals involved in activities that are seen as chaotic or a threat to national security. This policy has recently gained attention when a Palestinian student's visa was revoked after she took part in a pro-Palestinian protest at her university. This action is similar to what former US President Donald Trump said about cancelling visas for people who cause problems on American campuses. The UK's method brings up important questions about timing, motivation, and consequences, especially since general elections are coming up soon. Let's look more closely at the case of Dana Abuk. Dana, a Palestinian law student in the UK, had her student visa taken away after she took part in a pro-Palestinian protest. Karma spoke with pride and joy about the resistance against oppression during and after the protest. The UK government saw these words as a potential threat to national security, which is why they took away her visa. 15 family members were killed in Gaza, which was a terrible tragedy for Abu Karma. She said that the government's actions are unfair and violate her rights. Her lawyers have filed an appeal under the Human Rights Act against this ruling. The UK Home Office says that people can have their visas revoked if they act in an unacceptable extremist way that promotes hate and could lead to violence between communities in the UK. In the Karma case, the government called her a threat to public safety. A Home Office representative stressed that while they don't speak on specific cases, state permits can be revoked when they are linked to activities that pose a threat to national security or public order. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has said that discrimination on college campuses will not be tolerated at all. He also announced that the University Jewish Chaplaincy Service would get an extra $500,000. This is to help Jewish students. As part of a larger plan to stop pro-Palestinian protests, which the government links to hate speech and danger to national security, this move is being made. Some people say that the government's position can taint reasonable political criticism with extreme views, behavior that might make it harder for people to speak out and organize peacefully. In contrast to the violent scenes and heavy police presence seen on American campuses, British universities have mostly seen peaceful protests. These rallies often have a wide range of people attending, such as Jewish students and scholars who show support for Palestinians. However, the UK's new policies mean that activities of foreign students will be closely monitored and controlled. Taking away visas for protesting raises important legal and moral issues that are similar to those made in the US about civil liberties and freedom of speech. Abu Karma argues that her actions do not pose a threat to public order, and she emphasizes that the revocation of her visa highlights broader issues of racism and the curtailment of free speech. Her appeal underscores the ongoing tension between national security measures and the protection of individual rights, particularly when it comes to political expression. This case brings to the forefront the difficult balance that governments must strike between ensuring national security and upholding civil liberties. The timing of the visa revocation, as the UK's general elections approach, raises questions about the possible political motivations behind the government's actions. It suggests that these measures could be part of a broader strategy to demonstrate a tough stance on national security and immigration, areas that are often of significant concern to voters. The government's actions could have a profound impact on public opinion and voter behaviour, especially among those who prioritise strong national security and strict immigration control. However, the government's approach also carries risks. In taking a hardline stance, there is the potential to alienate segments segments of the population who place a high value on civil liberties, freedom of speech, and the right to peaceful protest. These individuals may view the government's actions as an overreach, infringing on the very rights and freedoms that are foundational to a democratic society. The situation presents a complex challenge: how to maintain public order and security without eroding the rights that protect individual expression and dissent. Recent events in the UK illustrate the difficulty of navigating this balance. As immigration and national security issues continue to evolve, the government's response to these challenges will be closely scrutinised. The case of Abu Kama serves as a microcosm of the broader debate over how to manage the delicate interplay between security and freedom. It raises important questions about the extent to which national security concerns can justify restrictions on political speech and other civil liberties. In the context of the upcoming general elections, this issue is particularly salient. The government's actions could be perceived as a reflection of its broader approach to governance and its priorities in the face of growing concerns over security and immigration. The outcome of this case and the public's response to it could have significant implications not only for the individuals involved, but also for the broader political landscape in the UK as it navigates the complex issues of security, immigration, and civil rights. The government's decision to cancel visas for protesters has sparked intense debate, with opinions sharply divided across political and social lines. This policy, viewed by some as a necessary measure to maintain law and order, is seen by others as an infringement on basic human rights, particularly the right to free speech and peaceful assembly. Critics argue that the move is a direct attack on dissent, designed to silence opposition and intimidate those who wish to voice their dissatisfaction with government policies. This is particularly concerning in a democratic society where the freedom to protest is considered a cornerstone of civic engagement. On the other hand, supporters of the government's stance argue that it is within their rights to protect the nation from unrest and violence. They believe that the cancellation of visas for individuals involved in protests serves as a deterrent against actions that could disrupt public order. In their view, this policy is not about suppressing dissent, but about ensuring the safety and security of the country. They argue that there are legal and constructive ways to express grievances, and that those who choose to engage in potentially unlawful activities should face consequences, including the loss of their right to stay in the country. As the country moves closer to general elections, the implications of this policy are expected to play a significant role in the political landscape. The issue of visa cancellations is likely to be a major talking point, influencing voter sentiment and party platforms. Political opponents may use this policy to galvanize support, portraying the government as authoritarian and out of touch with the people's needs. Meanwhile, the government may double down on its stance, framing itself as the defender of national stability and order. The societal impact of these policies is also significant. Communities that feel targeted by the government's actions may experience increased fear and alienation, leading to further polarization and division within the society. Additionally, the international community is closely monitoring the situation, with potential ramifications for the country's diplomatic relations. The way this issue unfolds could affect not only domestic politics, but also the country's image on the global stage. In the coming months, as the general elections approach, the government's approach to handling protesters and dissent will be a key issue to watch. The true impact of this controversial policy will become clearer, shaping the political and social fabric of the nation for years to come. By listening to our channel, you can get the latest news about immigrants in Europe. We value what you have to say, so please share your ideas below. Okay, that's all for this video today. Please tell us what you think about this in the comments part below. Thanks for watching the whole video.